there, I'm Kelly from She Sails Away. Welcome to my channel. In today's video, we're going to do a full ship tour of Royal Caribbean's Oasis of the Seas. We're going to look around at all of the decks, the lounges, the casino, the places to eat, the places to see shows. We're going to see it all, deck by deck. So, let's get started. Before we jump in, a little bit of information for you about Royal Caribbean's Oasis of the Seas. Oasis of the Seas first sailed in December of 2009. It is the original ship in the Oasis class of ships for Royal Caribbean. Oasis of the Seas has 18 decks, 4 pools, and 10 hot tubs. There are 24 dining options aboard this ship and 7 different neighborhoods, all very distinct. Let's begin our tour on Deck 5, the Royal Promenade. This is the heart of the interior of the ship. You will find yourself spending a lot of time here. You will most likely board the ship straight onto Deck 5. There's a lot to do and see and experience here on Deck 5, so let's get started. We're going to begin at the very back of the ship, Deck 5 aft, and here is one of the entrances to the main dining room. This is a 3-level dining room, so there are 3 different entries on 3 different decks. Leaving the dining room, headed towards the front of the ship. Now we are entering the Royal Promenade. You can see there's an elevator bank right there. And as we enter the Royal Promenade, there's a little ship map if you need it. And right there is also the port shopping desk. If you need coupons, information, maps, they will help you out. We are going to go to the starboard side as we walk to the front of the ship. And right here is the Bionic Bar. This is a very fun place to go. You can order classic drinks, you can mix your own drink, and these 2 bionic bartenders will make it for you. Fun to watch them in action. Leaving the Bionic Bar, over here is the Rising Tide Bar. It's not there in this clip. As you can see, it's gone. It's way up there. The Rising Tide Bar goes up and down between Deck 5 and Deck 8, which is Central Park. As you can see, the Royal Promenade has lots of shops and food and a lot of activity, things going on. Really exciting place to be, either to do things or to just relax. Each Oasis class ship has a car in the middle of the promenade. This one belongs to Oasis of the Seas, a nice long stretch car with 2 big teddy bears. You can see how wide open the promenade is here. They have dance parties here sometimes and parades. Right here is Sorrento's Pizza, very popular place. It opens around 11. It's open late into the night. This is complimentary pizza. They have all kinds of special pizzas, classic pizzas. They can make gluten-free on request. There's also a beverage station there if you have purchased the beverage package. Here is an icon on Oasis, these 2 painter statues and the other painter working away. Moving on, this is the shop. This is where you're going to find basic souvenirs from Royal Caribbean, t-shirts, hats, hoodies, cups, mugs, tumblers, things like that. Now look up there at the ceiling. That is open to the daylight. That's open to Central Park up there. So that's natural sunlight coming in. Here is Bolero's, a beautiful lounge. Lots of Latin music at night. There's a bar inside. They have all kinds of activities in there. Right there to the left is Starbucks. But let's take a quick peek in Bolero's. You can see they're doing a dance class right now. There's the bar off to the right, lots of seating. And we've come to the end of the promenade, and if you want to take these stairs to the left, that will take you down to the entertainment place on Deck 4. We're going to look at that in a minute, but here is a shortcut if you just want to go down the stairs. That's going to take you down to the casino and some of the things to do down there. Here is another bank of elevators. As you can see, plenty of elevators, and every elevator bank has a directory next to it. And now at the end here, we come to the entrance of the Royal Theatre. There are 2 entrances to the Royal Theatre, Deck 5 and Deck 4. You're going to see a lot of shows here. And now we're going to cross over to the port side. And here's a look down the center of the Royal Promenade. You can see Deck 4 on the bottom, Deck 5 on top. Look how beautifully that's lit. So pretty in here, so much to see. It feels so lively and exciting. All right, now we're going to head back to the aft. We're at the very front of the ship, and we are port side. We're going to take a look at the other side of Deck 5 here. Here's some ATM machines if you need to grab some cash. And right here is Spotlight Karaoke. It's a wonderful lounge that does have karaoke, but they also have sports games in here on TV. They have some craft activities and games in here. Really wonderful bar staff in there. You can see seating on the left for Starbucks. That's the back of Starbucks right there. Plenty of places to sit. Of course, you don't have to be having Starbucks to sit here. This is just a really nice place to hang out. And we continue walking up. This little section here has lots of shops. Solera has a lot of beauty products. We're going to find all kinds of designer handbags coming up and duty-free merchandise. And in the center of the promenade, those tables and stands and things, those hold special merchandise sales throughout the day. Lots of fine watches, jewelry, handbags, scarves, tote bags. There are different sales each day. Here is Port Merchants. Duty-free items, lots of alcohol here, some cigars. All of those expected things. There's Sorrento's again, more seating, and on the right is Globe and Atlas. This is a British-style pub, very popular, live music every night. The people in the Globe and Atlas seem to know how to have a good time. Let me just say, on my last cruise on Oasis, this was the most lively spot on the promenade in the evening. Everybody's singing along with the live musician, having a great time. A lot of people sit here and play cards. We're almost back to the end of the Royal Promenade. Island Market features designer handbags and high-end sunglasses and things like that. And right here is the Promenade Cafe. Very popular spot. Very difficult to find a place to sit here. People tend to sit here all day long, and it's rare to find an empty chair. But this is complimentary snacks, desserts, little sandwiches and things like that, and a complimentary beverage station for ice water, tea, or coffee. You can also order specialty coffees here. And over here is guest services. If you need help, you have a problem, a question, anything like that, this is where you're going to go. And you can just see how beautiful everything is, very glittery, lots of glass, gold touches, so much seating all throughout the promenade. Here's a fine watch store. They do have quite a bit of fine watches for sale on this ship. Now right here is Voom. If you have internet issues you want help with, or you want to purchase internet, this is where you would come. Another elevator bank, and we are almost right back where we started. You can see the directory right there on the left, and here we are back at the entrance to the main dining room. Now, as I said, the main dining room can be entered on 3 different decks. Before we leave Deck 5, I want to take you out here to the side and show you the jogging track. This goes all the way around Deck 5, so popular. There's 1 lane for walking, 1 lane for running. Beautiful way to get fresh air, exercise, stretch your legs. It goes on and on and on. But here is a hidden secret area most people don't know about. You can come sit here, look out at the water, read a book, take a nap. This is a terrific place for sail away or when you're leaving port. Great way to look out at port when you're just docked. And just a really special place to hang out. And that brings us to Deck 4. Here you're going to find another entrance to the main dining room. You're going to find the huge Casino Royale. You're going to find Studio B where the ice skating show is. So let's take a look. Here is your entrance to the Royal Theatre on Deck 4. Look at this beautiful elevator bank. We're going to start near the front of the ship. This is the non-smoking casino. A little bit small, but they do have a decent selection of slot machines here and a couple of card tables. Very nice to have a non-smoking option at all. They also have a roulette table. We're going to step out of the non-smoking casino. You can see that staircase that will take you right up to the Royal Promenade on Deck 5. Here's another little ship map if you need it. And of course, there are always directories next to the elevators. This is Blaze. This is a nightclub, and there are often comedians in here. This is the Crown Lounge. If you are at a certain level with Royal Caribbean, you have access in there. Here is Studio B. This is where the ice skating shows are. Wonderful shows. Do not miss these. They are amazing. We're going to take a left and go to the main casino. We are headed aft, and this is the little art gallery area. If you are interested in looking at the art on the ship or purchasing anything, this is where you would go. And now here we are in Casino Royale. Of course, this is a casino where smoking is permitted, so keep that in mind. But this is a great casino. Huge, lots of activity, so busy, tons of slot machines, lots of blackjack tournaments, slot pull tournaments, a roulette table, all of the usual things you would expect. And of course, some TVs with some sports events on them. Always have beautiful artwork everywhere you look, different, unusual. This is very pretty right here. We're going to step out of the casino now, and we are headed aft. Right here is the entrance to the main dining room on Deck 4. And that wraps up Deck 4. We're going to move on up to my favorite deck of all, Deck 6. I just want to mention that Deck 3 has access to cabins and to the conference center. And now we're going to move up to Deck 6, Boardwalk. This is considered a neighborhood. This is my favorite neighborhood of all. Very old-fashioned and lively and exciting. This is where you will find the aqua theater, rock climbing, places to eat, the carousel, and arcade. So let's take a look. Let's start with a quick aerial view of Boardwalk. You can see that there are cabins on either side with balconies. These are wonderful places to stay. They can be just a little noisy when the aqua show is going on, but you can check the weather, see the ocean, see what's happening down below, and you can watch the aqua show from them. That purple curly thing is the Abyss. It's a dry slide that starts out on the pool deck and goes all the way down to Deck 6. We will talk about that more when we make it up to the pool deck. But overall, you can see what a unique open space this is. We're going to start at the very back of the ship, Deck 6, as far back as we can go. This is the Aqua Theater, a very unique space. The Aqua Show is performed here. Do not miss Aqua 80 on Oasis of the Seas. It's amazing. Wonderful show, very athletic, lots of diving, just wonderful. Now, obviously, if there's bad weather, the show is canceled, but on a great day, this is a wonderful place to sit. And over here is rock climbing. You can see this rock climbing wall. It's open several hours a day. There is a minimal height requirement, but it is open to families, not just adults. It's a really fun, unique activity to do while you're cruising. One of the things I'll show you later is that ziplining is available on Oasis of the Seas, and you can see zipliners going overhead when you are standing on Boardwalk. Now we're going to walk forward towards the front of the ship. On the right are play structures for small children to climb into and play in. Right here is Johnny Rockets. This is an upcharge specialty dining for lunch and dinner, but it is free for breakfast. Burgers and shakes and all of those things you would expect. And here's one of the more fun pieces of art on Oasis. Moving on from Johnny Rockets, you can see the carousel straight ahead. On the right are some shops. This is just called Beach Shop, and they have some swimsuits, sunglasses, flip-flops, and things like that. Over here is Sugar Beach. This is a candy shop that also sells gelato. It's considered specialty dining. They have candy by bulk, and they have packaged candy. They have this hand-dipped gelato, and they have stuffed animals in there. I'll give you just a quick glimpse into Sugar Beach to show you what I mean. Candy, candy, and more candy. Anything you could want is in here. Leaving Sugar Beach, you're going to see these carousel horses in various stages of being carved. And here's the Boardwalk Doghouse. This is complimentary dining. This is hot dogs and sausages with different kinds of toppings. They also have some ice water set up here. Now, right across the street from the carousel and Boardwalk Dogs is Playmakers. This is a sports bar. Really wonderful food here. This is specialty dining, so it is an upcharge. This is one of my favorite specialty dining venues on Oasis. They have wings, sliders, beer, nachos, all of those kinds of things, and you're going to want to try the campfire cookie. It's amazing. Connected to Playmakers is an arcade with a few different games. Not a huge arcade, but nice. Again, here's these beautiful carousel horses, and if you're in the mood for getting your fortune told, you can visit Zoltar. I think Zoltar was $1. Now we're going to go inside and see what's left of Deck 6 as far as the interior of the ship. You will see that it breaks off here fairly quickly, and then there's more Deck 6 at the front of the ship. So we're going to finish this out. As you can see, we are overlooking the Royal Promenade that we just visited. Right here is Next Cruise. If you would like to book your next cruise on Royal Caribbean while you're on the ship, there's usually an incentive to come book it here. And then here is Schooner Bar. You will find Schooner Bar on pretty much all of the Royal Caribbean ships. Trivia here, piano music in the evening, lots of activities here, very popular place. We're leaving Schooner Bar. And again, there's Royal Promenade right there. There's that beautiful, elegant, curving staircase if you want to go down. They do a lot of posed photos on that particular staircase on formal night, just so you know. Right here is shore excursions. If you have not booked a shore excursion and you're interested in booking one, you would come here and see what's available. Right next to shore excursions is Focus. This is the photography studio. If you have posed for a photo for any of the professional photographers around the ship, you would come here to see those photos and decide if you want to buy them. You can also book a photography session here in a studio. You can shop different photo products. And they have a few other products as well, not very many products here, but they carry a lot of GoPro and some camera accessories. In case you forgot a camera card or a battery, you might want to check here. Here's another example of a photo product you can buy, or you can book a photo session and you would end up in this studio right here. And that brings us to the edge of the Focus Gallery and overlooking the Royal Promenade again. Look how pretty it is. Such an amazing place to look out and just take it all in. So colorful. This spot right here is a great spot for the parade or a dance party. There's the Promenade Cafe, the stretch car, the rising tide, all of those things. And that's going to wrap it up for Deck 6 on this end of the ship. Let's go to the forward part of the ship. Now, aside from cabins on Deck 6, when you get to the front of the ship on Deck 6, the only thing here is the Vitality Fitness Center and Spa. This is a huge area and it's beautiful, well worth visiting. You can see it's a huge lobby. There are places to sit and hang out here if you would like to. They have a hair salon separate from the actual spa, and the fitness center is separate as well. There's where you make your appointments. Here's some products you can buy. They have a lot of hair products and beauty products to sell. They also sell services aside from spa services, such as an IV therapy kind of thing, a foot analysis. It's a very high-end spa. Right over here is Vitality Cafe. This is a place that makes freshly squeezed juices on order. They make smoothies and protein shakes. They have a few prepackaged drinks as well for an upcharge. They have some complimentary snacks here, like fruit and granola bars. I was unable to get footage of the fitness center because, of course, there's always people in it. I try not to film when there's tons of people doing things like working out or swimming. It was a really nice fitness center, very large, had everything you could want. Here's a glimpse of the waiting room if you're going to have a massage or a spa service. And now it's time to keep moving upward. And now we're going to jump up to Deck 8 with one of the most interesting parts of the ship that there is. This is Central Park. It is a unique space only found on Oasis-class ships. Central Park is very much like it sounds. It's a park in the center of the ship. Royal Caribbean describes Central Park as an upscale gathering place that opens to the sky. It's beautiful during the day. It's beautiful when it's lit up at night. This is the view from a Central Park balcony cabin. This is where I stayed on my cruise, and I would sit out here at night. They would have live jazz music in Central Park every night. So let's go take a look. Now, what you're going to find here in Central Park is shopping, upscale dining, places to have drinks, and places to sit and relax. Here are a couple of chess tables. You can see there's seating throughout the park. And here is 150 Central Park. This is an upscale dining experience, very heavy on experience and quite expensive. Here is an entrance to the Rising Tide Bar. Remember, I showed it to you on Deck 5. The Rising Tide Bar goes up and down between Deck 8 and Deck 5, the Royal Promenade and Central Park. This is a great place to be when it's a sunshiny day. Here's a hand washing station in case you need it, and if you look closely, you're going to find some gnomes hidden throughout Central Park. You can see the little trellis area here. This is an alternative to just walking down the middle of the park. Look at all of the plants and the flowers and the greenery. This is a very well taken care of space. I've never seen dead plants in here or weeds. Here's more seating. This is outdoor seating if you're going to eat at Giovanni's Table, which is an Italian restaurant. One of the many choices for specialty dining here. You can see plenty of benches. There's some seating on the left. Lots of people like to hang out in Central Park. It's a way to be outdoors, get sunshine, fresh air. Here is Vintages. They have wine from all around the world. And now we've reached the end of Central Park. We are mid-front of the ship, so we are at the very top of Central Park, and we're going to walk down the other side towards the back of the ship. So we are walking down port side, and here is Park Cafe. This is a very quick service kind of place. Pre-packaged salads, a few sandwiches. They have a nice beverage station here where you can get drinks and you can get some ice for your cup if you need it. Here is Chop's Grill. This is an upscale steakhouse with prime cuts and all kinds of things like that. And we come to the very end of Central Park again, but you get the picture. It is beautiful. It's a really lovely place to be outdoors. If you want some quiet, you don't want to be right next to the pool and get sunshine, that's where you go. Now, continuing on Deck 8, when you leave Central Park, you're going to run into Music Hall. This is the only other venue on Deck 8 besides cabins. Music Hall is a huge space, as you can see, and it's 2 stories. This is the ground floor. They have live music in here quite often, obviously, but this is also a place for karaoke. They do a lot of karaoke competitions in here. There's a glimpse of the top floor. There's a bar off to the right. Great place to come and have some excitement. There's a lot more excitement ahead because we're going to the pool deck and the sun deck and all of the things to do outside. This is a huge part of the ship. Aside from pools, we have slides, the sports zone, ziplining, all kinds of things. So let's go take a look. Now, to catch us up before we jump into the pool deck, I just want to mention that the rest of the decks did not have anything worth showing. On Deck 9, you'll find the top entrance to Music Hall. Decks 10, 11, and 12 are all cabins. There is a card room there as well, but honestly, it was a very tiny, small, sad-looking card room, and there is no Deck 13. But let's go ahead and focus on Deck 16 because there's so much to see here. Deck 16 is a very lively, exciting place. So much to see, we're going to take a good look around. Let me just mention that there are 2 decks above this, Deck 17 and 18. Now, these are for suite guests, so I did not get to go up there and film anything because I didn't stay in a suite. On Deck 17, you're going to find suites, the Suite Sun Deck, Coastal Kitchen, which is just for suite guests, and the Suite Lounge. So let's get started on Deck 16. This is considered the sun deck. This is mid-aft starboard, and we're going to walk towards the front of the ship. Now, we're mid-aft because we started in front of the Windjammer Marketplace, which is their buffet. I will show you all of that in more detail once we wrap all the way around. We're going to visit Windjammer Buffet and the sports deck. Here is Splashaway Bay, a very popular place for toddlers. You can see how beautiful and wide open the sun deck is here. There's a shortcut off to the left if you want to get over to the other side of the ship. Here's one of the many, many hot tubs available, overlooking the pool, very nice. You can see they have different kinds of lounge chairs. They have regular lounge chairs, those sort of colorful basket cabana type things. And then these cabanas that are painted, that have a rope across the front, you have to reserve those and pay extra for those. Plenty of room up here for some sun. If you can't find a lounge chair right next to the pool, you would come up here. This is also a great place to sit during sail away. Here is access to the special suite guest areas that I mentioned earlier. We're nearing the front of the ship, and at the front of the ship is the solarium. This is an area just for adults. There is a bar here, hot tub, some small whirlpool type things, and access to the solarium bistro. Here you can overlook one of the hot tubs. We'll look at that more closely in a minute. The solarium has most of its seating on deck 15, but as you can see, there is some seating up here on deck 16 and a bar. Very nice place to get sun. If it's a little too hot or if it's raining, this is a great place to sit and still be able to see the ocean and see outside. That brings us to the front of the ship, and now we're going to turn around. So we are now deck 16 forward. We're on port side, and we're walking towards the back of the ship. Over here is one of the pools. It's called the main pool. All of these pools are very busy and crowded and surrounded all day, but you can see how many lounge chairs are up here on the sun deck to enjoy. I took this video while we were in port. That's a Carnival ship next to us, and yes, that is a roller coaster on their deck. The lime and coconut bar is right there on the left. You can see plenty of seating, little tables to put your drinks down. Nice place to hang out, especially in the evening. And right here is the sports pool. Straight ahead is the Windjammer. We're going to make it there in just a minute. And I'm going to take you inside. This is their buffet. It's open 3 meals a day. Unfortunately, even though I came to the Windjammer many times right when it opened, I never could get video where it wasn't completely jam-packed. So my video of the Windjammer is limited. You're mostly going to get just a glimpse of what's inside and of the crowd levels and some of the food options. It's a very large buffet. It wraps all around in a sort of U shape for seating. The food stations do repeat on the other side. Now, Windjammer is always busy on an Oasis-class ship, but I never saw it quite as busy as I did on Oasis. It was this level of busyness all the time. And that brings us to the end of deck 16. Now, if you can go past the Windjammer and go to the very, very back of the ship, there's a sliver of deck left with the Abyss slide on it and 2 flow riders. This is the end of deck 16. This is one of the flow riders. There's one on the other side, and right across from the flow rider is the entrance to the zip line. Now we're going to walk down a small staircase, and we are on deck 15. We are aft, and we are going to walk forward starboard. Here is the sports court. This is a very popular place as well. It's a freestyle basketball in here, but also organized basketball tournaments, games, volleyball. There's some family games in here as well. This is a popular place to sit. Those lounge chairs on the right are always full, partly because people want to watch basketball, and partly because El Loco Fresh is straight ahead, and a lot of people like to bring their plates over here. El Loco Fresh is wonderful Mexican food. This is complimentary dining, and it is extremely popular. It's open most of the day. Sometimes it's also open for breakfast. They have tacos, quesadillas, burritos. They have a toppings bar here. And of course, you can get vegetarian versions of everything if you want to. Lots of seating in El Loco Fresh, but as I said, a lot of people like to take their plates elsewhere. leaving El Loco fresh. If you were to go in that door on the left, you would find an arcade, also a small store with vending machines where you can buy basic essentials you may have forgotten to pack. Here's a nice seating area, and right there is a ping pong table. Walking on, we're going to pass Splashaway Bay. This is the zone just for toddlers and very small children. Super cute. You can see they have their own little slide. I didn't get great footage of this, so I'm going to show you some press footage right here. You get a good look at it right here. That big yellow bucket on top empties out every now and then and pours cold water down on everybody. You can see the small slides. Parents are encouraged to come in with their kids and walk around and keep an eye on them. Big fun for little ones. Moving on past Splashaway Bay, that's the Lime and Coconut on the left, but it was closed when I filmed this. There's a staircase up to the sun deck where we just were. On the right is where you go to check out towels. When you're on Royal Caribbean's Oasis of the Seas, you do have to check your towels out and give them your room number. Here is a lovely whirlpool hot tub right in front of the beach pool. You can see it's the beach pool because the lounges are all in shallow water. You can lay in your lounge, put your feet down on the water and cool off that way if you want to. You can see the Perfect Storm water slides are right there. There's 3 of them. And that's where the green one comes out, right there. Another staircase up to the top deck. There's a hot tub on the right. Beautiful hot tub, very big. Looks out over the ocean. It hangs out over the ship. Great place for sail away or a sunset. More seating here if you want to sit in the shade. And here we are at the very front of Deck 15 at the solarium. As I said, this is an adults only area. To the left is Solarium Bistro. That's a small place to get food, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. When I was there, reservations were required for dinner. You can bring your family to Solarium Bistro to eat, but the solarium lounge part, swimming part, this is just for adults. Now here we are on Deck 15 forward, enjoying the solarium. As you can see, it's open air. On the right, you can go out there sometimes. If the door's not locked, they will have it open to the public with some lounge chairs set up, and you can be on the very, very front of the ship enjoying the sunshine. Here's another quick look at the solarium. You can see lots of seating. It's a place to have sun and not be in the direct wind. Some small whirlpools and hot tubs. The Solarium Bistro is there and the bar is there. And that brings us back to Deck 16 at the very, very back of the ship. We're going to go down and explore the other side of Deck 15, starting with Portside Barbecue. This is a specialty dining venue with, obviously, barbecue. Ribs, chicken, sandwiches, lots of side dishes you would expect here. Macaroni and cheese, French fries, baked beans, all of those kinds of things. If you're in the mood for barbecue or some live music, this is a great place to come. They have seating inside. They also have a little bit of seating right outside the restaurant, and you can take your plate with you. Also on this side of the ship, on Deck 15, is miniature golf. Now I'm going to be honest, this particular footage here is from Symphony of the Seas. I couldn't get good footage on Oasis of the miniature golf place, but they are virtually the same. Miniature golf, pan over, and here is where you go ziplining. Here's the sports zone, the sports court for basketball, the 2 flow riders, and you can see the abyss back there. Same setup on Oasis. And that brings us to the final deck of our tour, Deck 14. Now, Deck 14 is almost all cabins. However, you will find the childcare facilities here. This is where Adventure Ocean is and the nursery. Adventure Ocean is divided into different age groups. I did not bring any kids with me, so I didn't get to visit these firsthand. This is press footage. Also on Deck 14 is the escape room, Apollo 18. This is an upcharge. You do need a reservation. We did this on Symphony of the Seas. It was slightly different than Apollo 18, but it was an escape room. Loads of fun. Definitely recommend. The rest of Deck 14 is all cabins, and with this, we are at the end of our tour. If there is one person left watching this video, I thank you so much for wandering the ship with me. It is my hope that if you're looking for a detailed walkthrough of the ship, this has been helpful to you. I will be making condensed versions of ship tours for my channel if you're in the mood for a 10 or 15 minute video just hitting the highlights. Look for those down the road on my channel. Do you have a favorite place on Oasis of the Seas? If so, please leave a comment. Are you getting ready to sail Oasis of the Seas or considering it? If so, please leave a comment. Thank you so much for stopping by. Enjoy your day and enjoy your next cruise. Bye-bye.